That's the correct answer, yes, sir.
I use that, and my cost is $300.
Okay, if you went to a military treatment facility, sir, you wouldn't have a cost.
Okay.
Or Express Scripts. But if he has other health insurance, there will be a convolution there of other health insurance. Yes, sir.
If you have other insurance and you use their drug program first and you have a cost associated, you take those costs and submit it to Express Script and they will reimburse you.
That's correct. There will be a cost share on that. Yes, sir. We'll pick up a cost share on that. That's correct. Any other questions on the retail pharmacy or the pharmacy benefit? Next, please. If you were to go to a retail network pharmacy with your TRICARE benefit only, this is what you, first you go to the MTF, you can get up to a 90-day supply for zero. Mail order, you can get up to a 90-day supply of generic for zero. 13 for brand name, 43 for formulary. And if you go to a network, which is the CVS, Walmart, Costco, Target, $5 for a generic, 17 for a brand name, 44 for a non-formulary. Non-network, your point of service is going to apply. Oh, non-network pharmacies generally, sometimes you may go to a small health clinic, they may have a pharmacy in the back. You may not want to go there, you may want to wait, go up the road, go to CVS, go to Walmart, go to a retailer. Next, please. TRICARE Retiree Dental Program. I am not going to steal the lovely Lynn Jamroz's thunder from Delta Dental. She's also going to be presenting regarding your Delta Dental benefit eligibility today. Ma'am, any question?
Question about the pharmacy benefit. Do you have to have a special ID card for that?
Your military ID card.
Military ID.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
That's correct. Keep going. I don't want to steal any of Lynn's thunder. She's got some great information. And toothbrushes. Yes, sir.
Can you go into a little explanation what you mean by cost share? Because I'm not really familiar with it.
A cost share or co-payment?
I understand what co-payment is, but you've also been talking cost share.
I'm sorry, I'm using the terms interchangeably, but it's one of the same, sir. A cost share or co-payment, same thing. It's what you're going to pull out of your pocket, okay? It's what you're going to pull out of your pocket. Again, coordinating your TRICARE with other health insurance, we always will pay last after any other health insurance. And you always must follow your other, if you have other health insurance, you also must follow your OHI's referral and authorization plans rules first. When OHI pays first, TRICARE referrals or prior authorization generally are not required. Once again, please, if you have any questions while using your benefit, call to find out the exact information. Operators are standing by. I'll be able to help you. I can look up your specific circumstance, exactly what's happening, what's going on, and we can take a look at it and get you a good answer. You can also call 1-877-TRICARE. If you have the other health insurance, contact them also. Get everybody in the loop. Most of you will find if you have other health insurance, you are way covered. Many beneficiaries just use their TRICARE program as a standalone, very successfully with a very limited amount and a lot of pocket expenses, cost shares, co-pays, whatever you'd like to refer to it as. Money out of your pocket. Very small amount coming out of your pocket. We all like to keep it in our pockets as much as we can. Next, please. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry, Mr. Can I go back one more? There we go. Okay, right here. You may still use MTF pharmacies even if your OHI provides pharmacy coverage. There it is in writing. So that's your workaround. I'm just going to say that about it. It's right there in black and white. So if you want to work around that issue with other health insurance and a pharmacy benefit, that's your answer. That's the solution right there. Yes, sir?
Do the other health insurance reimburse the government if you use the pharmacy?
I don't know. I don't know. I would like to add, I know this is a guess, please, no one, I would either confirm or deny I said this. I would seriously doubt it. I'm just saying, I doubt it. But you never know. I could be surprised.
I mean, because it's a service I'm already paying for with, even with my premiums or employer. I I'm saving them money, so it'd be nice if they would pay a normal pharmacy, why not pay a military pharmacy?
Nice. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Okay. Are we in the beginning? We're in the beginning. We're done. What do we do here, Mr. Nava? Okay, yes, we are done. Again, please go and get some of my literature, get some of my letter openers. And from the bottom of my heart, spouses, thank you for your sacrifice during the years of service. Veterans, thank you so much. I love America. God bless you. God bless America. Thanks for having me out today.
We'd like to say thank you very much for your time and for the information that you gave to us. Back here, I think back here is great folks. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
We're going to take what would have been a 15-minute break is now going to be a 10-minute break. So take a 10-minute break. Restrooms out the door to the left. And the rooms on the left. That's the liaison of BTAS, Innovative Hospice in Greater Chicago area. BTAS is an organization that provides end-of-life care for adult and pediatric patients with life-limiting illnesses. We work with patients and families to provide comfort and preserve dignity in the face of terminal illness. Hospice services include pain and symptoms management, emotional and spiritual support for patients, and bereavement support for families. So, if you would, please welcome Pam, who will give us and help us discover why BTAS is the nation's largest hospice provider. Pam, thank you.
I'm really never known as the quiet one. It's pretty amazing you can't hear me. Are we good now? Yes? Back there? Can you hear me? Good. I'd like to first start by acknowledging and saying thank you to each and every one of you that have served in our military and also to the spouses. We firmly believe that Utah is impossible to thank you enough. So thank you so much for your service to our country. We know it's because of you that we have the freedoms that we have today. So thank you. We find that one of the largest challenges in, everybody hears that word, the hospice is like, oh, what? The whole denial thing. So the biggest challenge is helping people understand what hospice is and isn't. So I appreciate the opportunity to visit with you today. There is a universal joke which states that none of us will get out of here alive. And that is actually very true, because at some point all of us will pass. But we live in this death-denying culture. So actually, only 10% of us will die unexpectedly or suddenly, okay? And then the 90% will be through a life-threatening illness. In a little bit of history of in the 19th century, 3% of the population was less than 65 years of age, and most people died at home. Dying in the United States, 13% of the population is over than 65 years of age right now, and approximately 75% of Americans die in healthcare facilities. It's pretty amazing. And we now know that that number is going to increase because every 7 seconds, a baby boomer reaches over the age of 50. So here at the end of life, where would you prefer to receive medical care if you were terminally ill, and the prognosis is you have a disease that would indicate that you would pass within 6 months as a qualifier. So 9 out of 10 people say they would prefer their care to be taken care of at home. And a little bit of the history of hospice, the root word is hospital, hospitality, a shelter. It's the whole caring concept that we look at. A place of refuge. A little bit of history. In 1969, Peter Ross was probably one of the most renowned publishers on death and dying was written. In 1974, the first hospice was formed in the United States, and in 1976, Utah became its beginning. In 1978, there actually was formed the National Hospice Association, and their focus is to A little bit about VITAS here. We really focus on providing 24 hours a day care, 7 days a week, for whoever needs it, regardless of their race, religion, and their inability to pay. So what is palliative care? The study and management of patients with active, progressive, far advanced diseases for whom the prognosis is limited, and the focus of care is really on the quality of life as opposed to the number of days. When curative measures have failed to stop the disease, adding quantity to the patient's life, palliative care provides relief from the pain and symptoms of that disease, adding quality to the patient's life. So palliative care affirms life. You can read these. He's way ahead of me. So what's the difference between curative and palliative? No, you're good right there. Okay, good. So curative is disease-driven. Okay, the doctor's in charge. You know, we can try this, we can do this, we can do this. The disease process is really the primary focus. And there's really few choices for the patients. When you get to the point of palliative care, it's very symptom-driven. Okay? The patient really becomes in charge. The disease process is secondary to the patient's wishes. And you have many choices for the comfort and quality of life that you would like to have. When is a patient appropriate? When it's, there's a life-limiting illness. Medicare regulations say that if you have a diagnosis that the prognosis would be that you would survive 6 months or less, then you qualify to be placed on hospice care. Okay? And it also requires 2 physicians to sign up, but typically it may be a hospice-based physician or your primary care physician that make that diagnosis. And of course, a patient or family can request hospice care. There are many, probably most prevalent in this has been cancer diseases that have been diagnosed for hospice care. And then there are additional non-oncology diseases such as cardiac, pulmonary, Alzheimer's, renal, liver, stroke, ALS, debility, unspecified AIDS. These are all qualifiers in particular diseases that might qualify you for hospice care. The disease progression, one of the things that we find is there'll be change in performance status. There may be a loss of appetite, excessive weight loss. They may have difficulty breathing. They may have increased pain, unrelieved pain, and the life systems once they're on. Confusion, restlessness. These are all the things that we would be treating. Weight loss, a shortness of breath, disturbed bladder and bowel function, disrupted sleep, nausea and vomiting, all these things that we don't like to talk about. Again, end-of-life symptoms, people tend to forget that there is that other piece of the psychosocial component where there is very common depression, anxiety, ineffective coping between the family members and communication, a life role transition. You're moving on. The caregiver and their distress. And hospice care covers all of these things. And there's the spiritual piece of it. The hopelessness, the isolation, feeling alone, the lack of power. We find that very common, especially in our military people that we serve. The loneliness, the need for reconciliation back in your life. What have I done? What have I accomplished? You know, how do I come to peace with all that? Hospice helps provide, needs to do all that. So hospice provides care for the family after the patient dies via bereavement services. Okay? For at least 1 year following a death, hospice provides, there's a variety of ways that we do that: letters, cards, visits, support groups, memorial services. Dr. Gray, we do what we call memory bear. It's real common that we actually make. We have people that sew for us, that volunteer and sew for us. They take an article of clothing from the individual that has passed, and we put that, and we make a memory bear and give it to the family. It could be several family members. So it's one of the ways that we help provide the bereavement department. So what do you actually get with hospice? So in essence, there is an interdisciplinary team. So if you notice on the very top, the patient and family is a different color because that's really what drives it. That's the focus of what we're trying to accomplish. But you also will receive an attending physician. There'll be a hospital physician or the medical director. You will have a registered nurse. There'll be a hospice aide, a social worker, a chaplain, and a volunteer. And that whole team takes care of that hospice patient. So who pays for it? In 1982, Congress passed the Medicare hospice benefit, and it actually covers 100% of the costs related to the terminal diagnosis. We include the HME, pharmacy. Right? The thing that that I'd like people to totally understand is it doesn't cover maybe somebody's under hospice care and we're taking care of all those things, but they fall and break their leg. Well, if they fall and break their leg, then that's not part of the diagnosis for the hospice, so that would fall under whatever health care they would already have. So it does cover everything with the exception of things that may be unforeseen. It is covered over unlimited benefit periods. Basically, once they're qualified for hospice care, it's reviewed every 60 and then every 90 days. The thing that we find most often is people say, oh, I wish I would have known about hospice sooner. It's very common. What's the average? 5 days that people are on hospice care is very regular. But we actually treat people that have been on hospice care for over a year or even 2 years. But it's constantly reviewed and updated as to whether they're qualified or not. Okay, so the Medicare covered services, so it's going to cover all these things as far as that Medicare cost, the nursing, the physician visits, the home aid visits, volunteer services, medical and social services, spiritual, nutritional counseling, and bereavement and support for the family, we've talked about already. And all of this is based on the needs of the family and the patient. Again, they're the ones that drive what is required. You bring it in, that's okay. Okay, one more. So there are actually 4 levels of hospice care. And whatever hospice company you work with, they are all the same. So the first one is called routine home care. And basically, it would, all those providers that we talked about would come and provide services on a regular basis, several times throughout a week at home. And hospice care is provided at home. And at home can be wherever that patient is. It could be a private residence, it could be an assisted living facility, it could be a nursing home. We've actually cared for homeless people. So home is wherever that patient resides. So that's routine home care. Continuous care is maybe the illness gets more severe and it requires more attention to the patient. So the visits would be more frequent. There would be a nurse there on a more regular basis staying with the patient. Okay? Inpatient care is another level where, again, it becomes more difficult, but the symptoms cannot be managed where the patient resides, so that we would be put into an inpatient setting until those symptoms are relieved, and then they would return back to their home. The 4th level is respite care. We're fully aware of that caregivers that provide for a patient are under extreme duress or potentially under extreme duress, and so this provides them an opportunity to have a break where the patient would be put in an inpatient setting for 4 or 5 days while that caregiver gets a break. So, and all of those are paid for on a per diem basis based on the level of care. So that's how it's published. Okay, next. One of the things we've been handing out a lot over here is the whole ethical issues. As we talked about, people don't want to talk about it, but there are advanced directives, do not necessitate. We firmly believe in the patient choice, and the more you have written down as to what you want to go on, to the point of what songs you want sung, what people you want involved, when you want to do things, should be in writing. So some of this falls in. We have handouts for that material. I know quite a few picked those up already. I'm not going to go into details. A whole other presentation on what all that is, but just be aware that it exists. So the next couple of slides go over that a little bit. So we include things like living wills, the durable power of attorney, healthcare. I served our country are probably the most qualified to have your choices at the end of life as to what you might want. So, advanced directions, Willis Fulmore coming up. The other thing that is sometimes misunderstood is you do not have to have a do not necessitate order in place to receive hospice care. It's obviously the better thing to do, but it's not an actual requirement. Everybody know what DNR is? Okay. So, okay, basically again, it's saying the same thing that we communicate with patients' wishes. You matter because you are you. You matter to the last moment of life. We all do all we can, not only to die peacefully, but also to live until we die. It's really all about living every day well. It's really what hospice care is all about. I wanted to address one other thing, because as we mentioned, we focus on the unique needs of military personnel at the end of life. My husband is a Vietnam vet, and he actually volunteers for us, so I'd like to share this story. I've learned, as you all are probably well aware of, that the brother and sisterhood between military people is a very strong bond. And we find that there's nothing more powerful than having somebody that has served in the military go visit somebody that's under hospice care that has served in the military. So we're always looking for those that would opt to volunteer to go visit other military personnel. So I offer that opportunity out to you. And we welcome any questions or just things you might have. I think the other piece is it's not easy to do. I actually started with VITAS as a volunteer, and somebody said, oh, doesn't mean you're a volunteer. You look for a see hospice patients? And I went, and a good friend of mine said to me, she said, you know, it's all in how you look at it. It is an honor to be with someone and help someone pass to the next life. So I look at it in that respect. So if any of you have any interest in that respect, certainly anything possibly as far as becoming a volunteer. So it wasn't 45 minutes. Any questions? What did we miss? You know, I find that to be true. Everybody's like, yes, sir.
Let's say somebody is in a nursing home and, you know, goes living on in a nursing home, but then takes a turn for the worse. Does hospice care kick in then?
A hospice care will be, the qualifier is whatever illness, whatever is going on with that patient, if that disease or whatever the issue is, it could be debility, it could be a combination of things. Two doctors have to say that they qualify for hospice, and that would be that whatever illnesses are occurring, that patient would, if it took its normal course, would pass within 6 months. They can stay in the nursing home. We provide hospice care wherever that need is. So that it doesn't necessarily mean that they would have to leave that facility. Does that answer your question?
So then hospice care picks up the nursing care costs?
They do not cover the cost. That is a very good question. They do not cover the cost of the nursing home. The hospice benefit is covered on those 4 levels of care that we talked about, and they're provided there by that whole team, the doctor, the nurse, the social worker. That's what it covers. But the cost of staying at that facility would stay the same. That probably doesn't answer the way you wanted to do it, but that's the way it works.
I'm trying to figure this all out in terms of nursing home costs, hospice costs, and that other bugaboo, long-term care, which nobody seems to know what exactly it covers.
Well, nursing home is long-term care. Okay. Long-term care is a very general term. Okay. And you can be in a nursing home. Typically, it is a nursing home facility or a skilled facility. Okay. Those costs are those costs. They don't go away once you get put on a hospice bed. Hospice, those 4 levels of care that I talked about, they're paid for on a per diem basis. It's a Medicare benefit. So 65 or older, you're automatically eligible for the Medicare benefit. If you're younger than that, then there are quite frequently, actually there's a military, a VA benefit for hospice. And there are most insurance companies now cover hospice care. Okay. The other thing with VITAS us is we never turn anybody down, we do a lot of charity care. But it doesn't cover the expense of the nursing home. In other words, what it costs you to stay there every day, that's still, it's still there. It's strictly pretty much medical care. Does that help?
Yes and no, thank you very much.
Stop by now, and we'll make sure we clarify. Other questions? Yes.
My father died a couple years ago, and he lived the last few years of his life in a skilled nursing care home setting. And my mother continued to pay for that out of pocket to the day of his death. But the last 2 weeks of his life, he received hospice care in the nursing home because he needed much more intense care. And hospice was paid for 100%, and that meant that the nursing staff and the unskilled care setting of the nursing home was supplemented, so he had round-the-clock skilled care at his bedside. And in addition to that, my mother had support of the hospice care service. So it was two different skill sets coming to care for him and also my mother. So it's two different service levels that come together to care for not only the patient at that point, but the family. And again, for my dad, his home was the nursing home. And that expense, whether it's maintaining your mortgage or your rent or whatever, that stays in place. And hospice doesn't take care of that. In his case, it was his nursing home expense. And now it was supplemented by the care level he needed for his end-of-life expenses and palliative care.
Okay. Other questions? Okay, thank you so much. Appreciate the opportunity.
And we appreciate the fact that you came in and gave some information on the end of life. Unfortunately, I had a lot of time.
None of us qualify. None of us qualify.
But thank you very much for that opportunity being on. And thank you very much. One of the questions that came up during the break time was, where do I get my DEERS enrollment updated? Fortunately, you're in a facility that does DEERS update. We did not make arrangements today, and I guess that's my policy for not thinking about it. But we did not make arrangements for having that clerk on staff today. But you can make arrangements here at this facility, at the 86th facility, at Great Lakes, and I'm told there's also a facility at in Joliet for the Marine Corps. And if they have a DEERS facility, they're supposed to be able to provide updates for you at any of those DEERS facilities. Coming here, I am told that you do not have to have an appointment. Having been manager of a DEERS facility once before, I would tell you, please make an appointment, even though it's not required. Here they will take walk-in. I guess getting in is a challenge because of security of the building. They do take walk-ins at this facility, and ideally I would suggest that you make an appointment. If you call the center here, ask for the DEERS office, and they will transfer you down to the DEERS office and you make an appointment. Question?
What's the number here?
I do not know what the number is. Just a moment. Okay.
Number is 800,
Number is 800
315,
315
6327,
6327,
extension 149.
extension 149, that gets you to the DEERS office itself.
Is that the same as the ID card on?
It's the same as the ID card office, yes.
The Joliet facility is only by appointment certain days.
Joliet is by appointment and specific days of the week. So you need to call the Joliet facility if you're going there. Yes, Ms. Chief.
I also have some information on the back of one of my brochures. It's Middle Connect website where you can update the DEERS online. The website address is on this brochure if you like that.
So as you can also do it online, another question.
Yeah, I guess this is time to ask this question. I'm wondering if you would get in the second marriage late in life. Yes, we. So I'm gonna have to get my new wife. Is DEERS with the ID, is it separate or, you know, I don't know what I'm Social to get her signed up for.
You will need to go in and get your DEERS form updated. You have to provide information update. In the past, they required a copy of the marriage license to validate that and witness that information. But you do need to go to a DEERS facility to update your form and the information. And the wedding or the marriage certificate is the document that they use to actually verify what you're trying to update.
Then they'll do that.
Oh, and they'll do the ID card after you update yours.
I asked him about that a while ago. Now, is Joliet only for Marines?
No. They do all services, but they only do it one day a week, as I recall.
And what?
I don't know the address. It's the Marine Corps Reserve Center.
Marine Corps Reserve Center.
If you go to Great Lakes personnel, that's every day.
I'm from Bourbon area.
This
It's a little bit further out, but they begin in
this facility's every day also.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Any other questions? Our next presenter is a person that I wish I had met approximately 30 days ago, because I thought I was old enough that I did not need dental insurance. Therefore, I don't have dental insurance, and therefore I'm paying $3,600 to replace a bridge that's 50 years old. So I hope you'll listen to what she has to say. Personal experience tells you, even as by that stage, you might need it. Lynn Janice is the next speaker. She is a dental hygienist in the marketing and communication of Delta Dental, California, and she works the greater Chicago area for Delta Dental. And Delta Dental is America's largest and most experienced dental beneficiary carrier, providing dental coverage to over 54 million, should be 54 million and one, nationwide. Delta Dental, you can choose from a national network of more than 198,000 dental locations nationwide. Please welcome the mayor.
Thank you. This is at the end of my slideshow.
It is.
Very good, that's the beginning. Right.
Let's start there.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I want to also say the same thing that the other speakers have said in the beginning, is thank you for your service for both the retiree and the spouse. Now, I always like to start out with a little fun. Who is the oldest retiree here in the audience? Is there anyone in their 80s? Anyone in their 70s? All right, so is anyone 79? You are. Okay, sir, you win a flashlight. There you go. Thank you. Okay, I always like to start out by saying, Gene gave you a lot of information on the different TRICARE medical programs. And I always like to say that, TRICARE is an umbrella name for all the separate DOD healthcare contracts that are administered by different companies. And all the programs that she talked about are entitlement programs. So you're going to notice a difference between all of those programs, and our program is not an entitlement program. It is straight dental insurance. So DOD does not subsidize this program, and so the retiree does pay 100% of the premiums, and I'll get into that. First of all, this program started, it's the very first And it first began in February of 1998. And because the retirees, because this program is not subsidized, and the retirees were going to pay 100% of the premiums, the way that DOD designed the program to make it affordable is to base the premiums on cost of living. And they had to make it, to make the premiums very affordable, they did not, they made the program very bare bones. And as time went on, we had gotten a lot of feedback from the retiree community, and they wanted more benefits, and they were willing to pay more premium for these benefits, that in October of 2000, we enhanced this program. Now, the basic program, the very bare bones program, is still in effect. However, we do not take any new enrollments into that program. Anyone enrolling in the program after October 1st of 2000 automatically goes into the enhanced program. Now, in May of 2003, we enhanced it again, and the last contract, October 1st of 2008, we added more benefits to the program. We have an enhanced overseas program, so you can use this program anywhere in the world. And right now, as I mentioned, we're in the last year of this 5-year contract. DOD did award the next 5-year contract to Delta Dental of California, but the new contract does not start until January 1st of 2014. So anyone who is in the retirees dental program, they have extended this contract till December 31st. So just to let you know, you'll get an extra $300 for each person in the enhanced program for your dental benefits until December 31st. And if you're in the basic program, we give you an extra $250 that Delta will pay out towards your dental benefits until December 31st. Next slide. So, where can you use this program? Anywhere in the 50 United States, DC, Puerto Rico, Guam, the Virgin Islands, Samoa, Northern Mariana Islands, and Canada. If you're in the basic program, that's the only areas that you can use this program. Now, here in the enhanced program, you have all of those above, plus if you happen to, go to Europe or go to the Philippines on a vacation and you have a dental emergency, you can then use this program for the dental emergency. However, if you choose to retire overseas outside of this service area, then you would have to enroll in the enhanced overseas program. Next one. All right, who's eligible for this program? First of all, anyone who is retired from the military. There is no age limit. As long as you're getting retired pay, you are eligible. Now, the gray area retiree is eligible to enroll in this program before the age of 60. And that has always been in effect in this program since February 1st of 1998. Now, the current spouse can enroll in this program as long as the retiree is enrolled. In the other TRICARE medical programs, some divorced spouses are eligible, but in this program, only the current spouse. And children, also, up to the age of 21, 23 if they are a full-time student. If they become disabled before the age of 21, then they're eligible for this program beyond the age of 23. But the key is that they have to have a military ID card. And as everybody has been talking, all of the eligibility for the TRICARE programs is being through the information in DEERS. So I'm going to say it again. because it is critical that you always keep up your information in tiers. Next slide, please. Okay, unremarried surviving spouses and their eligible children, and also all survivors are also eligible for this program. Now, there are 3 situations where a family member would be able to enroll in this program without the retiree. And that's number 1, if the retiree gets their dental work done at a VA dental clinic. Number 2, if the retiree has a medical or a dental condition that would prevent them from using the benefits in our program, then the spouse could enroll without them. And I give examples of, we have retirees in a coma, we have retirees with mouth cancer, retirees with Alzheimer's, situations like that. And then the last one, if the retiree has a dental program through an employer, and that dental program excludes family members, then the family members could enroll in this program without the retiree. And then all Medal of Honor recipients and their eligible immediate family members are eligible for this program. Next slide. Good. So, we have 2 classifications of enrollees. Now, whether you're retiring from active duty or you're retiring into the gray area, the benefits are the same. So if you're retiring from active duty or you're retiring into the gray area, if you enroll in this program within 4 months after your retirement date, you will get all of the benefits of the program right away. Now, if you choose to enroll in this program beyond 4 months after your retirement date, what will happen is you'll get all of the benefits of the program except for the major services, which are crowns, bridges, partials, dentures, implants, and orthodontics. You'll have to be in the program a year before you'll get coverage for those services. Next slide. Okay, so there's 3 ways to enroll. Now, we are really stressing to enroll online because you can do that 24/7. And at my table, I have some handouts. And there's this card here, this small little card. This card helps you navigate our website to get more information, and it'll help you walk you through how to enroll online. If you can't use a computer or you don't have one, you can, Monday through Friday, call our 888 number. And again, on one of the pieces of materials at my table, there's this green fact sheet. And the 888 number is in the lower right-hand side of this fact sheet. Or if you don't have a computer and you don't have a telephone, then I do have brochures with an application where you can fill that out and send it in. Now, in order to enroll, you need to submit the first 2 months premium. If you get retired pay, what'll happen is at the 3rd month, then we start taking the premiums out of your retired pay. But if you are a gray area retiree, if you are an unremarried surviving spouse, if you are a survivor, those 3 eligibles don't get retired pay. So for them, we would set up a checking account or a savings account extraction, or an EFT, electronic funds transfer. Next slide, please. So, once you're enrolled in our program, here's another difference between our TRICARE program and some of the other TRICARE programs. Some of the other TRICARE programs, you have to enroll by the 20th of the month in order to be eligible the first day of the following month. Our program, you can enroll the last day of the month, and which is coming up. Say this coming Friday, right? It's Friday? No, it's Saturday. I think the last So, next Saturday, you can go to our website, click on Enroll Online, submit your 2 months premium with a MasterCard or Visa, and then you'll be eligible for your benefits the next day. Now, once you're enrolled in the program, you do have the first 30 days where you can disenroll from the program as long as you don't use it. If you use it within the first 30 days, or you don't use it and you go beyond 30 days, then you're committed to the program for 12 months. Once you reach your 12-month commitment, then you're in the program on a month-to-month basis, and you can drop out at any time, and any time in the future re-enroll. And I had a couple of questions at my table. This program has open enrollment all the time. There's no, certain period when you can enroll. You can enroll at any time in this program. So, once you're enrolled, we could send you the welcome packet via email, which we are encouraging, or if you'd like, we could send you a hard copy through the post office. Next. Okay, so as I had mentioned before, this program is not subsidized by DOD, so the way that they made it affordable is to base the premiums on cost of living. So the premiums go according to your zip code. Now, again, the best place to find out how much this program costs would be to come to me at my table, because I have all that information and I can tell you all of that. But if you go beyond today, the best place is to go to our website, or if you can't use the computer, Monday through Friday, call the 888 number, and a customer service rep can give you that information. So, right now, here's the premiums. The least expensive is for a single person would be $32.01 a month. And so we have 3 rates. We have a rate for a single person, we have a rate for 2 people, and then we have a rate for a family of 3 or more. Now, in the past, like I mentioned, the premium rates change from year to year. Most of the times, they go up about $1, but they have gone down in the past. But because DOD extended this contract to us till December 31st, the premium rates will stay the same until December 31st. And then January 1st, the premiums will change because it will be the start of a brand new 5-year contract. And I can tell you this, I know what I've been told is that the premium rates for this program will go down January 1st. I don't know how much, but I know they're not going up. Okay, next one. So, as I've mentioned before, if you get retired pay, the premiums have to come out of the retired pay. And if you are one of the eligibles that don't get retired pay, then we would set up an electronic funds transfer. And we ask for the 2 months premium because by the 3rd month we can set up the allotment. But if we're able to set it up within a month, then we will refund the other half of that prepaid. Next slide. Okay. What we've done is, again, at my table, I have a purple sheet. On one side, it talks about your premium. And if you come to my table, I can do the formula using your specific premium rates to show you the value of this program. And on the other side, we talk about going to a network dentist, and I'll go over that later. Next one. So, this, it's a PPO program, and so it works a lot like TRICARE Standard and TRICARE Extra. The benefit year Right now, it's been extended, but the new benefit year will be January 1st through December 31st. So each person in the program gets right now $1,500, and from what I understand, that's going to carry through in the next 5-year contract. So every year, each person will get $1,500 that Delta will pay out towards your regular dental benefits. Plus, each person gets another $1,000 for any type of dental accident. And dental accident is defined as any type of external blow to the mouth. So, say you trip and you fall on your front teeth, that treatment would be paid out under the dental accident maximum. Now, if the dental accident maximum is used up in that treatment, then we will start dipping into the $1,500 regular dental benefit to complete that treatment, but we won't do the opposite. Say you have 2 crowns and a root canal done in a contract year, you're going to use up your $1,500 regular dental benefit. We would not dip into the dental accident maximum to complete that treatment. And just let me tell you, here's another difference between our TRICARE program and the TRICARE Medical. When Jean was talking about the TRICARE max per fiscal year is $3,000, meaning that's the amount of money that you pay out in a contract year towards your medical benefits. In our program, when we talk about our maximum, it's the amount Delta pays out towards your dental benefits in a contract year. So we have a $50 deductible per person and $150 for a family of 3 or more. And I talked about the dental accident coverage and coordination of benefits. Again, here's another difference. TRICARE Medical is always secondary to any other health insurance. Our program, we can either be primary or secondary, depending on when you enroll. And if you choose our program as your secondary payer, we will most likely pick up everything that the primary doesn't pick up, as long as it's a covered benefit in our program. Next one. So, again, yes. Go back.
The maximum payment, was that Delta would pay the maximum of $1,200 a year or $1,500?
$1,500. Delta will pay out $1,500 per person in a contract year.
No matter, and is that above the premiums? I'm sorry, so if the premiums are, if we're paying $70 a month for the premium, then the maximum that you would pay out is $1,500.
Yes.
Okay.
Per person.
Per person. I guess I'm not seeing a huge benefit. So because the crown was $3,600.
And we pay 50%.
$1,500. So that's all you would pay. That's all you would pay of that. So you still left with $1,500 plus the.
Well,
okay.
You know, I don't really want to get into this, but we come to my table and I can crunch the numbers for you for your specific, costs. But on this purple sheet, we have, I was looking at, I don't have that information, but.
Well, it just seems that dental expenses are getting more expensive every year.
Yes, I know.
And to me, it just seems like $1,500 a year toward that doesn't seem like a lot anymore. So.
Well, that's true, but next one. All right, preventative and diagnostic. Delta, these are your exams, your cleanings, your x-rays. Delta pays 100% on these procedures. We don't apply them towards the deductible or the maximum. This is set up as an incentive for you to go and get your teeth cleaned and checked. And if you go to a network dentist, now in this program it's PPO, so you can go to any dentist you want to go to, but if you go to a network dentist to have these services done, your cleanings and your exams, it would cost you nothing out of pocket. This is, as I said, it's an incentive to go and get your teeth cleaned and checked twice a year. Basic restorative are fillings. Delta will pay for white fillings on your front teeth, and your front teeth are considered eye-tooth to eye-tooth, and then silver fillings on your back teeth. Now, we will pay 80% of a 1 or a 2 surface white filling on your back tooth. But if your dentist does a 3 or a 4 surface white filling on your back tooth, we're only going to pay out the benefit of a silver filling, and then you would have to make up the difference. Endodontics are root canals. Periodontics are the gum surgeries. And oral surgery is basically extraction. If you notice, Delta pays 60% on these procedures, and you get these procedures right away. There's no waiting period for them. Many commercial dental contracts pay 50% or less on these services, and many times there's a waiting period for them. Now, as I mentioned, if you enroll in this program within 4 months of going into the gray area or 4 months from active duty, you'll get the major services right away. But if you choose to enroll beyond 4 months, then you'll have to be in the program a year before you'll get the coverage for the major services. And we pay 50% on implants, crowns, onlays, bridges, partial and full dentures, and orthodontics. And let me tell you one thing about orthodontics, which are braces. If you have, we have no age limit on orthodontics. So if you or your spouse at this point in your life have always wanted to get your teeth straightened, we can help you with that. And we even pay for the Invisalign type of ortho treatment. Next slide. So for ortho, the ortho benefit in this program is there's no deductible for those procedures. Each person gets $1,500 towards orthodontic treatment. However, that is only paid out once in a lifetime, where the other two, the regular dental maximum and the dental accident maximum, those renew every year, but this is only paid out once. And we have coverage for both adults and children, and we even cover, and this is more applicable to the people that are retiring from active duty, where they have children in ortho treatment at the time when they retire. If they enroll in our program within 4 months, then we will pick up 50% up to $1,500 on the remaining balance of their ortho treatment. So, this is a PPO program. The way that a PPO program works is that it's basically discounted fee for service. So I'm going to use the example of my dentist. My dentist's regular fee to have your teeth cleaned and checked is $135. So he joins our network, he signs a contract with us stating that he will accept our discounted fees as payment in full. And say the discounted fee for a cleaning is $100. He has to accept the $100 as payment in full and cannot charge back the difference. So, when you go to a network dentist, they cannot charge for filling out the claim form, they cannot charge for sterilization fees, they cannot unbundle procedures like charging you separately for the shot of Novocaine. Whereas if you go to a non-Delta dentist, they can charge you for that and you would be responsible for those fees. Now, on the flip side, again, what we've done here, we're always encouraging enrollees to visit a network provider because we crunched the numbers to show you that if you go to a network provider, on average, you will save about 22% on your copay. Okay, next slide. And that's the chart that's on this sheet of paper. Okay, next one. So, right now we have over 200,000 network providers for this program. There's really not an issue in this area as far as finding a provider, unless if you retire to